routes better than anyone else. This is Ute Insider Steve Bartle of KSLSports.com on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
No. Welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Curie, Jeremiah Jensen. We're at the Utah RV Super Show here in Sandy. I want you to come down, check out some of these deals. The problem is they put these right in front of you, and then what ends up happening is during the break, inevitably, JJ, we wander around these and then think to ourselves, I better get this Riverstone Legacy.
I've never thought that, but
I go, you know what? I don't have a gooseneck trailer, but I could get one.
you have a problem.
I know. I'm telling you.
You're a sucker for a good deal.
Well, I've actually become I'm quite a good RV operator. I can drive the big rigs around. I can haul. I can tow some stuff. I've gotten pretty good at doing the RV thing, and so
I tell you what, I'd love to do it.
When you pack the kids in,
I will.
Dude, I'm telling you. So we've done a couple big road trips in RVs.
Yeah.
To Seattle, to Idaho a couple times, and it is fun, man. It's a great way to go, and it's a hard thing to do to just get in a regular car and do a regular road trip after that.
I bet.
Because then the kid's like, "Where's the fridge?" And you're like, "Sorry, not this time, kid." Where's the bunkhouse?
What do you mean? Our drive to Seattle wasn't catered?
Where's the queen bed? I know. That's what I'm telling you. All right.
Can't play PS5 in the back of your car.
You heard the voice say that Steve Bartle, our Ute Insider, joining us here on the program. You thought it was a weird day for weird, swirling rumors when it came to the Mountain West and when it came to the Pac-12 and when it came to all that stuff. How about waking up to a bunch of weird texts and weird tweets about the status of Cam Rising this weekend? So let's just go straight to the source here. Steve Bartle joining us on the program. What's going on, Steve?
Oh, you got me mid-yawn.
They're going to say you got me mid. Are you sure you don't have tetanus? What's going on? You have lockjaw? What's going on?
Steve, we just need to know what's the survival rate for tetanus.
Yeah.
What's the survival rate, especially if it's in the finger?
Nobody here has tetanus. Nobody here has tetanus. Thank goodness. And also, Cam Rising also does not have tetanus.
Okay, there you go.
Man, what a wild 24 hours this has been. So, Willie Foosball, a well-known troll account on Twitter, got Coach Prime. Coach Prime.
Well, it's good to know that the Colorado head coach is praying for his rival's quarterback.
Yeah, that'd be happening anyway. You can still thoughts and prayers still work for Cam Rising, even if the finger isn't that bad. But when it comes to him actually playing this weekend, the status on Cam Rising does look more doubtful, right? And so that's one thing at least that we kind of woke up to was, well, even if it's not a tetanus or an infection that's they're going to have to remove his hand at the wrist or whatever it was, all these different versions of what the reality is. Is Cam Rising going to be playing against Utah State this weekend?
Yeah, so on a more serious tone, it is, as I think it was Brett McMurphy reported, it is unlikely that Cam Rising plays, and everything that I've heard points to Isaac Wilson being the guy this weekend for Utah. So, barring some drastic change between now and Saturday, 2:30 p.m., my expectation is Isaac Wilson gets the start for Utah, and as Kyle Whittingham talked about on Monday, right? We've seen a little bit of Isaac through the first two games. We've seen essentially a game's worth of action from him. Obviously, very different circumstances between the two games. And so, right, Isaac Wilson getting a week of prep, how much is that going to help him? We'll find out, I think, on Saturday. I think we'll get a much better feel of where Isaac is at. And I don't expect fireworks. I don't expect a heavy passing game, but I think we'll see an Isaac Wilson that shows the ability to execute at a good level.
Steve, I've been a huge fan of Isaac Wilson. I expected him to win the backup quarterback job. He was special at Corner Canyon. He's still special now. But you understand, after watching the first two games, why Utah fans are really nervous about this. Can you give Utah fans some kind of, a boost and let them know what can they expect from Isaac with 80% reps this week? How much are they going to open the playbook up for Isaac? How is this going to be a better result than what we saw from him in the first two games?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, when you're talking about needing to execute, in the moment, everything is live, right? You need as much chemistry and as much work as you can possibly have with the guys around you. So first and foremost, you're going from 20% practice reps all week to now 80%. So you're getting 4 times the amount of reps that you were the previous 2 weeks. That's a big deal. That's going to allow him to work through mistakes, and for coaches to identify with Isaac what plays he's comfortable executing, what plays he's going to he's got a good grasp of in terms of how he needs to execute the plays. This is going to be important for Isaac to just still stick with what he needs to do, right? He doesn't need to be a hero this weekend. He just needs to execute the offense and allow the guys to pick up around him as well. And I think that's going to be the key for him. Not trying to do too much. And for him, he's just going to be much more comfortable. He's got the talent. He's got the arm talent. We've seen it over the years at Corner Canyon. Plenty of arm talent. It's just getting comfortable at this level. It's a completely different game. When you're talking about the sort of defenses that he's going to face at the college level compared to what he saw in high school, right? I mean, like high school, you're seeing pretty static cover 2, cover 3 coverages, right? Where you see the safeties deep, and those are the guys that are deep. In college, it's completely different, right? You're going to see different looks where you've got safeties deep, but all of a sudden they're rolling up to the flat. You've got corners rotating deep, and it's a completely different look, and it changes the way it changes the way you're supposed to execute a play. So there's just different variations of coverages that he's learning, and that's all part of the process. And I think for Utah fans, as much as we want to see Isaac throw the ball around, we Utah fans need to be patient and just understand that this is a long-term process, that he is still a true freshman. I fully expect that Isaac is going to look much more comfortable on Saturday, but if we don't see him throw for 250, 200 yards, don't be worried. Like, he is still just a true freshman, and that's not his job this weekend. His job is just to execute the offense and to get Utah to win.
Obviously, Kyle Whittingham made reference to Mekhi Bernard being kind of RB1 until further notice. What is the running back situation? Is that what they're looking at and they go, hey, we want somebody to kind of emerge as that number one guy, or is it still kind of that 3 or 4-headed monster or whatever they're still planning on? What's that running back situation look like for the Utes this weekend?
Yeah, I think it's probably even narrowed down to 2 with Mekhi Bernard and Mike Mitchell. Mike Mitchell he suffered an injury against Baylor, which kind of limited his ability to contribute at a high volume, but he's still a guy that they have a lot of confidence in. But with Mekhi Bernard, he showed on Saturday that he can be the guy to carry the load. He can be the guy to generate these important moments when Utah needs something in the run game. Mekhi showed that he can be that guy to get the 4 or 5 yards, to get the 6 yards, to create a big play. And for him, Mekhi is even still kind of settling in that sort of role and what comes with that. There were opportunities for him to even create additional big plays that he just missed because he didn't see a crease or he didn't see a hole. And so for him, he's still got another level or 2 that he can get to perform at a high level. But with Mekhi, it's more than just what he's doing in the run game. He's the guy that coaches trust the most to execute his assignment, regardless of what that assignment is, regardless of what, Cam or whoever checks the play into. They know that Mekhi knows the offense like the back of his hand, and that's a big deal. So, I think Mekhi showed that, he's a guy capable of being the lead guy. But I still think they'd love to get Mike Mitchell going. It's just, the last 2 weeks he's battled a nagging injury, and yet he's still out there trying to give it all to the run game and to Utah. And then 2, you still got these other guys, Dijon Stanley, who's still dynamic. You're going to get him a few touches here and there. Jalen Glover, it's a lesson, and college football is tough. He didn't play against Baylor, and sounds like there's a need to practice like you play and to take care of the ball and to execute your assignment, to do those sort of things. So, for Jalen, he's still in the mix. Just gotta take care of business between Monday and Friday and allow that work to shine through on Saturdays. And then Charlie Vincent, man, he's still reliable too. So he's still got a handful of guys, but I think this is coming down to Mekhi and Mike, at the top of this running back room.
Can't have a discussion about Utah without talking about that defense. Just two games in, they've been lights out. I mean, one bad play against Baylor, that's about it. It's been tough to find any weaknesses or flaws. Has this defense exceeded your expectations, or did you expect and did they expect to be this good?
Yeah, I think the defense definitely came into this season, with these sort of expectations that, that they really wanted to play at a high level and play, really stifling defense. And I think that's what we've seen so far. Obviously, with SUU, you kind of expect that with Baylor. That was going to be a tough test, but it's one that they felt really good about, just given the matchup and given kind of the strengths of the team. But this is a defense that is this is just kind of the standard for them. This is the way that they expect to play on a weekly basis, and some weeks are going to be better than others, but this is the sort of level of play that they hold themselves accountable to, and so. It's been super impressive. They've looked really good, and it starts with the guys up front on the defensive line with Connor O'Toole and Van Fillinger, who are among the top sack guys, in the conference and in the country, and have given Utah one of the top sack rates in college football through 2 weeks. I think Utah is ranked number 9th nationally in terms of sack rate, which is a big deal, right? So Utah, they haven't had as many opportunities to rush the passer compared to other teams, but they're still capitalizing on at a very good rate in getting to the quarterback and getting the quarterback on the ground. So, Van has looked fantastic. He's healthy. He looks like the talent we thought he was coming out of high school, and so it's good to see that from him. The safeties look fantastic against Baylor. They seem to have really settled in, and that's going to be huge for this defense moving forward, is that safety group and getting those guys to continue to play at a high level. I love what I saw out of those guys against Baylor on Saturday, and they were aggressive. They were relentless in their pursuit of the ball carriers, and that's going to be super important moving forward. So, yeah, I think, this is more of just what we expect from Utah football on that defensive side of the ball.
Steve Bartle, he's our Utah insider for KSLSports.com. He's working on just a little bit of an infection. Hopefully, not going to be amputated by the weekend. We're hoping.
Well, I'm hearing they have no choice.
Are you going to be game time decision, Steve? Are you going to be all right? You're going to be up there at Maverick Stadium.
The doctors have made their decision.
I am heading into the operating room as we speak. Actually,
okay,
so. No,
as long as everybody gets. I mean, I don't know who gets
tetanus outbreak has been nasty this year.
I don't know who gets tetanus in 2024. Here we are. Steve,
don't want to lose that typing finger.
Have fun up there in Logan. We're looking forward to the reports, man, and we'll keep our eye on this thing. We'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. Appreciate you, fellas.
There you go, Steve Bartle. He's doing awesome.
How's that for concise information about?
Well, it's just like quit it. Just stop it. Can we just quit? Instead of worrying about a fake injury that Cam Rising has, how about you just work on, focusing on that your freshman may get a good full week of practice, and we might get to actually see.
I'm excited for Isaac to have this opportunity. Yeah. And, you never want to see it, but this is a situation where it's not a serious thing. There's not that much pressure on him.
Right.
You get a chance to go out against Utah State and show your progress. Get 80% of the reps in practice and go out there and show everybody that, whatever the first two games results were with you statistically – are not who you are.
Right. Let's take a break. We'll come back. When we do, we'll be here at the Utah RV Super Show. We're going to chat with our buddy Zach from General RV in just a few minutes here. We're going to get the download on how things are going and what kind of amazing deals you can get. So stay right here. More to go. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.